Good day. Welcome back. We had right here, I had a little bit of a technical problem. My power supply on the laptop I'm using, a marvelous little laptop, but that decided to act up last night. It might have been my vibrations even that caused it to. Anyway, I had to stop, and I'm just finishing up. Technical difficulties do come up from time to time. I was talking about the planetary vision I saw or was shown, the many planetary visions and lessons I was shown. And I, um, I mentioned this one about the lights starting to come back on again. That has always puzzled me because, in the end, I'm part of the IT community on this planet, and yes, IT managed to solve the Y2K problem. If I'm right, if that's what caused the outage in Europe that I was shown, but the problem is it didn't come about. Neither, as far as I can tell now, um, am I a money grubbing uh, materialist. I don't believe I am. So why was I shown these lessons? To keep me from doing stuff? Maybe. Here I try to walk a straight and narrow path. Um, is that what the life review was all about? I don't know. Maybe I'll learn these lessons or get the answers at least in future lives. But the goal of the Jack Chat show is to try to allay fears of death. That's my goal here and now. And not that, as I said last show, not that it gives anybody license to take their own life or the life of anyone else. That's a no-no. What I do want to cover now are three concepts that I found confirmation with or by Carl Gustav Jung, who had some metaphysical experiences himself. And yes, his work is not empirical, but I turned up in Psychology of the Western Religions, a very interesting book by Jung that I've read from cover to cover, and other than the Greek, I've been able to understand a little bit. Jung talks about right and wrong, and also about time. Let's deal with the things I don't know too much about. Right and wrong. Right and wrong is a very philosophical thing, and I'm not a philosopher, but the being of light that I encountered, the being God, there's no right or wrong. God doesn't judge, so how can I? Uh, Who does judge us in the end? And I know this is where, as far as religion is concerned, I'm going right smack bang against religion on this one. God doesn't judge. God is not an angry, nasty, commandeering entity. Or let me put it this way, not the God I encountered. The being of light I encountered is perfect. Perfect love oozes out of that entity. Who judges? In the end, we do, the spirit, me. I judged myself in the life review. All the being of light did was show me a scenario of my past life. And I would hear the voice, was that a loving thing to do? Whoops. Um, in the context of perfect love that surrounds me here, no, not really. And that's what keeps me on the straight and narrow. But does God judge? Is there a book that God points to, hey, you didn't do this right and you should have done that? That's not what I found. But again, it's very hard, if not, I don't believe in the impossible, because anything is possible, really. But it's very difficult for me to prove anything of what I say. It's so subjective, it's so personal. So, you want to prove me wrong? Go ahead. Um, so that takes care of Jung and right and wrong. I agree with Jung, Carl Gustav Jung. You can't know up if you don't know down. You can't know what freedom is until you know what a police state is like. You can only appreciate your freedoms when you've experienced not having those freedoms. You can only experience right once you know what wrong or evil is. And I don't really believe there is really a concept of evil. We are negative, but are we evil? I don't believe so. We're perfect. We just go astray from time to time. But my favorite topic, and why I've read up on quantum physics, is because Jung mentions time. What I experienced on the other side was movement between point A and another point, basically in eternity. And I could have been at that other point along the sands of eternity, what I call the beaches of eternity, instantly. How? By thinking and getting there. And what the little I know about quantum, and I really am researching this because it explains, it's the only concept I know of, the only theory I know of that explains life existence on the other side of the earth plane in death consciousness. If two protons can know what they are, what each other are doing, and go through this through the double slit experiment, and basically have an intelligence of their own, because that's the only way it can be explained, then it explains how in death consciousness, how movement occurs. I saw, or was shown really, an undulating wave with cubes on the crests. Cubes, which I was told are universes. Yeah, it sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? And these universes stretched along this undulating wave into eternity. That's an awful lot of universes. And we think, and until my experience, I thought this universe, let alone solar system, let alone galaxy, this was the only one there was. Oh no, as what did Shakespeare say? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in our philosophy. Due to the technical hitch last night, I apologize, but I do not have next week's uh, curriculum up. However, I'll put out another trailer in a day or two, and I hope you'll watch that. I'll have what we're discussing next week. It'll probably be another mention of one or two more life lessons that I learned on the other side. Please leave me some comments. Tell me how I'm doing. Are you benefiting? Are you not benefiting? Is there something you want me to cover? The response is being astounded. I'm astounded by it. I believe there were 26 different countries as of this morning that in 20 days, with hardly any advertising, something's going on. That's lovely. I'm so pleased you're tuning in. Keep tuning in. Keep listening. I hope you benefit. Until then, until next time, may you walk in peace, journey in delight. May the blessings of the Perfect One be with you and yours always. Namaste. Until next time.